Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So good to be together with you this evening as we are making our way to our seats. Reminder that now is a great time for you to make sure your cell phones are off, or at least are silenced. You hate to be the person whose cell phone goes off in the middle of services. Please take a minute to make sure that it has been silenced. Also, a reminder that if there is a younger friend or family member with you in services this evening, the entrance to our family room is just opposite the entrance to the chapel. That's a good space for some of our young friends who need a quiet space to take a break from services and get some wiggles out. That's a good place to go during services. Family room just opposite the entrance to our chapel. This is a night of joy and song and learning. It's also a night of great celebration for Jacob Miller and his family as Jacob enters Jewish adulthood when he celebrates his bar mitzvah this weekend. So I want to invite Jacob up to the bima along with his parents to light our Shabbat candles this evening. As they make their way up to the bima, you can turn to page 3 of your prayer books, where you'll find the meditation before our candle lighting. The blessing itself is on page 2 of those prayer books. And Sherry is first.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
And so now we start welcoming in Shabbat with words from the Psalms, these beautiful words about nature exulting, the fields, everything in them, and the trees shouting for joy. And so we just imagine that as we sing these words, Ya'aloz Sadai. we continue that welcoming spirit as we turn to page 20 for Lecha Dodi. This is our welcoming Shabbat like a bride. And so we sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we get to that 9th verse, we stand and we rise in body and spirit, and we face the entrance as we welcome in Shabbat like a bride. So I'll show you that when we get there. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם התפארת ולתהילה. lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, היא מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בלב, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה. lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, פני שבת וקפלה.
Folks, Shabbat is here. We'll remain standing for one more minute. I don't know if you saw her come in, but she is here now. We have welcomed Shabbat, so we're going to take just a minute to welcome each other as well. Take a minute, wish a Shabbat Shalom to somebody nearby. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Still standing, we turn in our books to page 28. You'll find Baruch Hu there on page 28 of your prayer books.
Ya la lai, 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 lai. Ya lai, 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 lai. Ya la lai, 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 lai. Ya lai, 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
2. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai, Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha, vehayu hadvarim haele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha. Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, bishivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisha'arecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place.
Oh, ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. וקוראי עונג וקוראי עונג ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. מקדשי מקדשי שבי כולם ישבעו ויתעלו מצוותך. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. וקוראי עונג וקוראי עונג ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו. קדמתי עמי אותו קראת זכר למעשה בראשית. במלכותך שומרי שבת. וקוראי עונג וקוראי עונג ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת.
On page 46, we have arrived at the Amidah, the central section of our prayer service this evening, and so I want to invite Jacob up to the bima to lead his congregation in prayer. As he makes his way up to join me in the cantor on the bima, I'll invite you to please rise for the Amidah, page 46.
Adonai sefatai tifta ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zoher Haseavot ve'Imahim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar mihamo habal givurot umido melech memid umechaye umatmiya Yeshua ve'enemana talehahayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mehaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shim hakadosh ukadoshim bechol yom yehalelu hasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated, friends. On page 59, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. And now we offer a communal prayer for peace in song with Shalom Rav, page 60.
Shalom leolam, shalom rav Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam, v'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We'll take a quiet moment now for our own individual silent prayer.
Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'koali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'koali. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi, imrefi, והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון אמרתי, אמרתי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, Adonai Tzuri v'koali. Yihiyu leratzon imrefi, imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yihiyu leratzon imrefi, imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha.
At this time in our service, it's become our custom to offer a prayer for the state of Israel. This week opens the door to a better economy and society, that peace is not just a prayer. Peace is first of all in our prayers, but it is also the aspiration of the Jewish people, a genuine aspiration for peace. There are enemies of peace who are trying to hurt us in order to torpedo the peace process. This is a course which is fraught with difficulties and pain. For Israel, there is no path that is without pain, but the path of peace is preferable to the path of war. To his words, we add this line of prayerful hope: Baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. This is a time of hopeful, anticipatory prayer, so this is also a time that we offer our communal mishaberach, our prayer for healing and well-being for the members of our families, of our congregational community, and all who are in need of healing and wholeness on this Shabbat. Before we offer this prayer and song, we take a moment to mention their names. Tonight we think of Marty Block, Kathy Borden, Eva Breston, Melba Berman, Eileen Sersansky, Robert Cohn, Jody Korsch, Stephanie Cousins, Kathy Ellinger, Al Eisenberg, Anne Lang Ellis, Benjamin Gibson, Marcine S. Goldman, Robin Hale, Jerry Halfant, Robin Hodgkins, Christina Howard, 53.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
This evening we have the opportunity to offer a few more blessings of thanksgiving and gratitude and joy of some significant milestones in the lives and the careers of some members of our community. I saw Lisa Brooks. Just what you are really teaching them, Lisa, is to know that their Torah deserves to be heard. That's the most valuable gift a teacher can give a student, is to remind them that their voice, their values, and their ideas have worth, and that everyone around them deserves to hear what they have to offer. It's an incredibly precious and valuable gift you have given them and all the students who've learned from you. There's a teaching in the Talmud where the rabbis are debating who it is who should be honored as the guardians of a community. They wonder, should it be the army? Should it be the judges? Should it be the magistrates? And in the end, they all agree, the real guardians of society are its teachers. You make that teaching come true, Lisa, by helping make this place safe and sustainable, loving and supportive for all of our students and all the beautiful, valuable Torah they have to offer. Thank you for your teaching. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the Torah that you share every day. We give our thanks to God for your life and your presence in our community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life and sustaining us and bringing us to this joyful day. Amen. Mazel tov. Thank you, Lisa. You can take a seat. And where is my friend Betsy? Betsy Lewis? Oh, there she's hiding. Betsy is celebrating a different sort of milestone this week. Well, next week, I guess. Betsy is reaching a birthday number 75. Yeah, I know, that's right. So God's blessing on you as you approach your 75th birthday. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman. We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, lots of it, and sustaining us and bringing us to this joyful time. Amen. Mazel tov. Happy birthday. Beautiful. So nice to have things to celebrate. A few announcements, a few things to call your attention to on our calendar. We ask you to, if you haven't yet, make your voice heard in the 39th World Zionist Congress elections. You may have seen the table set up on your way in where Freddie and Paul were staffing that table. Voting is open only through May 4th, which will give you a chance to choose your delegates for the World Zionist Congress, which will meet in Jerusalem this October. Your vote is your voice and your chance to help shape elections that will impact Israel and Jewish communities worldwide. You can cast your ballot today by going to Vote for Reform, vote the number 4, reform.org. It takes 5 minutes and will cost $5. Thursday, May 8th, next week at 7 p.m., the final installment of this year's endowment speaker series called The Power of Words. This evening will feature our member Leah Lax, who is an award-winning author who has also written libretti for some of America's most talented and capable composers. Her first book, Uncovered, was about her 30 years as a mother of 7 in a Hasidic community. That was before she joined us here at Emmanuel. And her latest book is called Not From Here, The Song of America, presenting extraordinary immigrant testimonies that changed her life as a Jew and as an American. You can register for that event on our website. One calendar correction: there will not be a May playdate for young families this Sunday. If you saw that notice in the bulletin, we apologize. It was an error. We will let you know about future opportunities to play with your young friends. Oopsie, sorry. So as I mentioned earlier, this week, just a couple of days ago, just 2 days ago, we observed Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, which every year is a solemn day of grief and honor dedicated to the memory of those who fell defending the Jewish state over its 77 years of life, along with those whose lives were taken in acts of terror by those who wished to see Israel eradicated. And then yesterday, just like on every other year, the mournfulness of Yom HaZikaron slid with an improbable smoothness into the ecstatic joy of Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day. That is a day of celebration whose happiness far outstrips, I'm sorry to say, the 4th of July in our country. In Israel, because of the nation's youth and its small size, both national independence and national grief are deeply personal for all citizens. And they carry a sense of urgency and immediacy that is not seen in many other countries. For Israelis, these days and their observance are not simply academic, they are a personal obligation to express the joy of political independence and also to express the pain and loss which are the unavoidable price of what tell the Houthis, and that is that I'm not very afraid of them. Do I worry about the suffering they can cause? Of course. Am I concerned that they will seize on any opportunity to do violence to innocent people? I am. But despite those anxieties, I realize that I'm not especially worried that any of them, almost, pose a credible threat to Israel's existence. Israel has spent the 77 years of its life shoring up its defenses militarily, technologically, diplomatically, to see to its own safety and survival. That's why I think it is significant that this week, for the first time in a long time, I did feel a pang, just a brief flash of deep fear about a different kind of threat that I do think is of existential concern to Israel and to everyone who loves it. And that happened this past Tuesday night in a community just northeast of Tel Aviv, in the community of Ra'anana. In Ra'anana, the Reform synagogue there was the target of a violent attack that you may have heard about in the news. Mobs of thugs surrounded the synagogue during its observances of Yom HaZikaron, the Memorial Day, throwing rocks, breaking windows, chanting violent threats, blocking the exits to the building, and converging on those who tried to flee. 4 police officers and 3 members of the community were injured and hospitalized for treatment, and obscenities directed at Reform Jews. While I am relatively unconcerned that Israel will be undone by some ragtag group of militants from afar, I am worried about the threat Israel faces from the rising tides of intolerance and hatred within its own domestic society. In Israel today, as in our country, as the tides of extremism push people to the far ends of the political spectrum, people gradually develop a sense of comfort and even an appetite for cruelty and violence against their fellow citizens. There, as here, these antisocial and anti-democratic impulses run contrary to the spirit of the nation's founding and corrode the most valuable commodities of civic life: shared space, shared culture, an awareness of the shared destiny that reminds us of our obligation to care for our neighbors. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when the ancient rabbis reflected on the tragic destruction of the great temple in Jerusalem, They taught their disciples that it had come about because of internal strife within the Jewish community, the corruptive process of one Jew turning against another again and again and again. Our sibling rivalries with each other, they taught, brought down a commonwealth that not even the mighty Roman Empire was capable of destroying. We must look out for each other, they taught. Kol Yisrael arayvim ze bazeh. All of Israel, they wrote, are responsible for each other. All of Israel, they wrote, are responsible for each other. It is hard to remember. It is even harder to them. This is a two-way street, and it's an obligation that must be taken up by those on the right and those on the left. From our prayer for peace tonight, as I mentioned, we borrowed the words of the late Prime Minister Rabin, may he rest in peace, and his reminder that violence cannot be our way. In retrospect, his words take on a certain painful irony, given that he lost his life as a victim of religious radicalization and intra-Jewish polarization. But it does not make his words any less true. I learned a beautiful teaching this week that I want to share with you from my friend, Rabbi Josh Weinberg, who's the executive director of ARZA, the Association of Reform Zionists of America. He notes that Israel turns 77 this year, and he reads that number using the ancient concept of gematria, the system of numerology, which assigns different numeric values to each letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The number 70 corresponds with the letter Ayin, and the number 7 corresponds with the letter Zayin. When you put them together, you can read the number 77 as Oz, which means power or strength. We all hope that this will be a year of strength for Israel, not just the kind of strength that will be required for her to defend herself against enemies from without, but also the kind of resilience and solidity she will need to withstand the destructive potential of conflict. But we are all in this together. So in this 77th year, this year of Oz, of strength, I pray not only that Israel will be blessed with courage on the battlefield, but with the courage for its citizens to face each other with open hearts. May we have the strength to reject hatred even when it comes cloaked in the language of holiness, and the moral clarity to remember that love of Israel must include love for all her people. The work of peace isn't just the work of treaties and borders, it is also the work of making ourselves willing, truly willing, to see the image of God in each other. May this be a year of healing and dialogue, bridging the painful distances that separate us. And for those who sacrifice, may the miracle of Jewish self-determination come true. May their memory inspire all of us to guard her safety and her soul. And let us remember that all of us are responsible for one another. Kol Yisrael arevim ze bazeh.
mercies will live to see the day of peace. Kol Yisrael arevim ze bazeh. Kol Yisrael arevim. We are all connected. One spirit, one heart, will never be apart. We're making our way day by day, week by week to Shavuot, counting the days. We call counting the Omer. And so we'll do that now together with the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom esrim yom shehem shnei shavuot v'shisha yamim yamim lahomer.
Today is 20 days, which is 2 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. And so we now begin making our way toward the concluding prayers of our service. If you'll turn in your books to page 282, I invite you to rise as the ark is opened for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo zamanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. Vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malachei lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh.
This has been a week of memory, as I mentioned, a week of national memory for our brothers and sisters in Israel. And this is also a week and a night of memory, much closer to home, as we reflect on the names and the faces of those we have lost, those whose memories we invite around us as we prepare for Kaddish. And so as we prepare for Kaddish and enter the halls of memory together, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones and those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We take a quiet moment now to do the work of memory. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This week, the hearts of our congregation go out in sadness and sympathy to the family of Joseph Robert Pulaski, laid to rest just this week. To his name, we add these, the names of those whose yahrzeits fall at this season. We remember lovingly the names of Elaine Perlman Fox, Sally Friedman, Max Globin, Eleanor Gluckman, Babe Goldfield, Zelda Goldman, Nettie Mendlovitz-Goldovsky, Sidney H. Gross, Michael Haken, Bruno J. Heimlich, Ethel G. Hoffman, Miriam Israel, Louis Jacobson, Annette Kallenbach, Harold Leonard Cookie Kaminsky, Libby Blum Kaplan, Shirley H. Katchen, Leonore Kessler, Carolyn Francine Claff, Joseph Kroll, Cy Kortler, Helen Levy, Haris Lemley Loser, Sam Mellon, Erwin Douglas Miller, Morris Miller, Bernard Mullen, Max Motley, Shirley Levin Nathan, Lauren Lipkin Orton, Fanny O. Oshman, Miriam Parkins, Howard Penner, Marjorie Pesikoff, Nathan Prizant, Abraham Pye, Avi Raffaeli, Sandra Rowicher, Celia Reingold, Elihu Neal Root, Julius Rosenthal, Saul Sankary, Francis Schneider, Naomi Schwartz, David Sobel, Sylvia Markowitz Wordloff, Rose Tartikoff, Lily Tashnik, Molly Sachs Totter, Edward Wayne Sr., David Weintraub, Susanna Weiss, Richard Westerman, Heike Shukovskaya, Dorothy Zimmerman, and Jane Zimmerman. The memories of all the departed are with us as we turn in our books to page 294 and rise together for the recitation of Kaddish. Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'almad
Aleinu, Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom, Bimroma, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
You may be seated. I'm going to ask Jacob to come back up on the bima to help us lead the blessings of Kiddush and Hamotzi, and I want to invite to join him his cousins, Emmett Miller, Amy and Doug Feldman, Rafaela and Malcolm Quantrill Siegel, Silas and Eli Lindros Siegel, Maddie and Natan Wasserberg. They're all going to come up and join us for Kiddush and Hamotzi. We're on page 5 of our prayer books. Just give it a sec. Hi guys.
Come on up.
Got plenty of room. Come on, guys. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Come on in. All right, Jacob,
Ready?
lead us in some
Go ahead.
prayers.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotah v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lehem min haaretz. Amen.
You're going to take that, share with your cousins. We're going to turn in our books to page 353. Oh, actually, it's also on the screen, so you don't even have to do that. Where we find a prayer for peace, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Be'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Be'al kulam. Salam Aleinu be'al kulam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu be'al kulam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Be'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Be'al kulam.
Would you please rise for a moment of benediction? Oh God, at this time of memory and hopeful anticipation for the future, let's take comfort and guidance from the words of the psalmist who writes, Adonai oz le'emo yitein, Adonai yivarech et emo v'shalom. O God, may you grant oz, strength, power, and fortitude to our people. May you bless our people now and always with peace. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.